Hello Scorpio, hello and welcome into your general tarot card reading for March of 2019. Scorpio, this is a general read, so take out of it what you will. Scorpio, before I'm going to start this reading and I'm going to say what kind of cards you have here, there's a very strong message over here. In March, reassess your direction. Where are you going? Because you're capable of doing a lot of things and you're going to start off extremely well in March. But what might happen? There might be certain things that are going to come into your life and they're going to create either problems or delays. And this is all about what is it that you're seeking. And it's almost what I'm hearing, things that where you were fighting or you were thinking that are right for you in the past, they're not longer going to serve you. The same ways, either the solutions or a way of thinking or way of dealing with things, and in terms of your goals, they're not longer going to be. I don't know. Are you going to realize the scope? You're going to outgrown yourself. You can do bigger and better things, and life going to start throwing you these difficulties, which they're going to be temporary, so make you realize there are bigger and better things for you. And moreover, you have 10 of Pentacles and you have a Gabbo in terms of additional commentary. So 10 of Pentacles is talking you about what to focus on, but the Gabbo is talking about the gifts, and it's talking about the union, and it's talking about things coming together. And it's beautiful. So whatever going to happen in March, life is not difficult for the sake of being difficult. Whatever is going to happen is going to be temporary here, Scorpio. But this is happening because there are bigger and better things for you. And it's to realize it's going to force you to make some choices. So let me start from the beginning. So what we have here, we have 7 of Wands. And you can see this person is overcoming difficulties, and he's representing this aspect of as above, so below. So meaning I speak, therefore I create, and you have this ability to create your own reality. You have this ability to overcome everything. However, the direction, the choices and directions is to understand what you're chasing here in the 5 of Pentacles and 10 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. What you think you ought to be doing, what you think you ought to be chasing, what you want is not what you need, and this is going to be, and you're going to be surprised because it's going to take you by surprise, Scorpio, because you're going to go, what? You're going to go, what is going on? And I'm going to, and there's this, and actually Ace of Wands and the Hierophant is talking about getting an advice, getting someone who's going to help you to put things in perspective, and also someone who's going to be able to direct you, someone who's going to, because you might be very going places, you might be firefighting. So what they say in March, it's not longer about firefighting, it's about focusing on important things. And important things, what they're talking about, you have a 10 of Cups and you have a 10 of Pentacles over here. This is about your house, your family, yourself, the inner values, your friendships, your relationships, and some kind of form of structure is going to be needed. But let me do the deep dive over here, Scorpio. So with 7 of Wands over here, 7 of Wands, I love Wands because Wands, they're representing our 7 of Wands, they're representing our will, they're representing our drive, they're representing the fire in our bellies. And Scorpio, what do you have? The 7 of Wands is representing sometimes difficult negotiations, they're representing the effort, they're representing the success, fulfillment, competition in business, success over, over the competitors. It's representing the inner strength, it's representing the unexpected gains, it's representing the great potential. and determination. So whatever is happening, that might be saying you might be succeeding something, you might be receiving something. It's going to be representing what I would say, it's going to display your courage. It's going to display this kind of ability to put your how to describe this? So it's almost sometimes it's also representing this fight and flight mode, and you will be able to overcome difficulties. But this is not about. But what I'm hearing is a firefighting as well, firefighting, and this is what I'm hearing. It's what with the beginning of March. What I'm hearing is something about your direction, because you might be very good at sorting things as they come, but this is about planning ahead. This is all about knowing what you want in long term, because there's firefighting, even though you're very good and you're going to attain a lot of things. Long term, this is not going to serve you. Long term, this is representing either false sometimes might be representing false friends, but also false hopes, that you're going to fight for something that is not longer going to be there. So it's going to be then like putting an effort into something that wasn't worth fighting for, if that makes sense. And we have the Five of Pentacles over here, and Five of Pentacles, they're representing this humanness aspect, and actually that they are linking with the Hierophant, because I think you might be in need for some kind of advice, you will be in need of some kind of help, and this help might be both very much financial, or it's going to be advice or guidance. Sometimes it might be to do with the legal, sometimes it's going to do with the employment law, but what I would say in this particular case, those Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, they might be representing the struggle, might be representing this being shined away, being given a cold shoulder, and that might be meaning everything from losing your job, losing the source of outcome, might be representing some kind of financial security issues, might be representing a feeling of isolation, might be representing the self-sabotage as well, fear of success. You see, that is another thing. There might be fear of the success, but also lack of faith. So you might be very good managing things here and now, but you might not believe it. It's like one hearing the examination of what is important. It has to take place, and the Ten of Swords and Seven of Cups, they're going to kind of take you into the task with it. Because you're going to go through motions and notions, and it's going to be, because intellectually, on a cognitive level, it's almost what I'm hearing, you would like to start running before you can walk, and they say, well, you have to come to the certain conclusions, because the Hangman is going to put you in a position, well, actually you're going to put yourself partially to reassess things, and then it's to see things from the new perspective. And when this new perspective is going to be gained here, Scorpio, things going to start slotting into the place. But it's almost you have to go for that. I see it as up and down, and it's you're going to go on some kind of journey here in March, but it's to help you, as actually to allow you to see things in new perspectives, to allow you to move forward, and I'm loving it. So what I would also say, so because this Five, and the Five in aspect of Pentacles is quite often talking about putting focus on the financial or personal difficulties. is to understanding why we're experiencing problems at work. Is to understand that whatever is happening or whatever is going to happen in terms of the finances or work-wise, and you might be heading for some kind of disappointment, and then you're going to try to find the way out of it, but don't run into finding the solution to it. What they say, this is temporary. But once again, more is coming through. Don't try to find immediate solutions to it. Don't try to patch it up. This has to be addressed and solved. This has to be some kind of strategy, long-term solutions. They have to be deployed here. So also the number 5 might be indicating here for you in terms of those pentacles, might be representing this kind of feel that there's something to do with lack of expression or unable to express yourself, or you might feeling you're not being heard, or you are being shunned away. Sometimes it's representing a relationship, people that are bound together by hardship as those two. But you see, and they are on the outside, they're in the cold, and this is talking about knowing where you're going, what long term, and also this lack of freedom might be representing, this might be job, this might be finances, this might be job. You might feel like you're being not being accommodated by others, but sometimes it might be representing things that they do that they have to do with our love life and our sex life as well, and that there is this kind of maybe lack of accommodation of certain needs as well. So that's what is coming, and this might be creating this feeling of being helpless and defeated and being in despair. So this might be representing everything from unemployment, financial difficulties, but also to emotional insecurities. And basically what this 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles is talking about, because I see those swords and I'm about to kind of go to it, is talking about whatever you're struggling, whatever is happening, if that is on the financial level or that's on the emotional level. Sometimes it might to do with have that fear of losing everything. And what they say, if that is happening, turn for the support of a close friend, family member, whoever it might be, support system. It might be a governmental body, it might be agency, sometimes might be organizations such as church. And the Hierophant is talking about, because Hierophant is talking about the organizations. It's look for that help, for that support, and it's going to be given to you, and you're going to receive it because you have a 10 of Pentacles and you have a Gebo. This is going to come your way, but reality is what we perceive. And this is talking about being pragmatic, because 10 of Swords and 9 of Cups, that's talking about things that 10 of Swords, that's talking about things coming to the end, and it's understanding that certain things that are not longer. And 10 of Swords is representing the darkest hour before dawn, basically. That's what's representing. But the 7 of Cups is sometimes also standing for false hopes. So what they're calling you to do, to be highly pragmatic, be highly practical about whatever it's going to happen here. Because this 7 of Cups over here is representing sometimes the inner self, because that person is kind of it's dark. It's that this kind of outline of this person is black. So sometimes it's representing this kind of lack of consciousness. but quite often is depicted as a card of illusion, of the false choices. It's representing sometimes the choices that we ideally would like to go for, instead of realizing what kind of real options we have. So it might be speaking about not seeing the real options. And because of that, this is talking about not able to complete certain things. And sometimes it's talking about hoping for things instead of putting your feet firmly on the ground. And once again, the 7 is talking about choices that has to be made carefully in regards to your future. And what is, once again, this unrealistic aspect is coming, unrealistic expectations, and it's something to do with your priorities as well. And speak about the 7 of Cups is speaking about casting aside those things that are not worth pursuing. So it's some kind of assessment has to take place here. And if that's going to happen, I appreciate it might be difficult, might be extremely challenging, it's not easy. It's not easy, but whatever going to happen, 7 of Cups is also talking about there are going to be several opportunities that are going to present themselves in given time. But this is about being able to see them. So be able to see the options that you might not necessarily ideally would like to entertain, but if they're going to come, grab them. Because what's going to happen, if you're going to start seeing different options, if your pool of option, your perception, your paradigm going to start shifting, and you're going to see, okay, so what the practical implications of this might be, how I can do it. You're going to finding the resolution to your problems, and 7 of Cups, they're talking about resolutions, and also talking about determination and determining what you're hoping for and what is feasible, and that's what is coming. And basically the 7 is also talking about the change for the better. So this is also talking about more positive outcomes. So the minute you're going to let go, the minute you're going to say, okay, there are certain things I cannot sustain, there are certain things that I can no longer pursue certain avenues, certain people. Sometimes those 2 sevens, they're talking about the false friends, because you have a 2 of Wands and you have a 2 of Cups. They might be quite often talking about the false friends, people who you were relying on and they backstabbed you as well. And because of that, you're going to find yourself in this difficult situation, this precarious situation. So it's also about knowing that certain people cannot be trusted as well. That is also what's coming through Scorpio. But whatever is going to happen, if you're going to start see those options, if you're going to kind of be practical about this, all of a sudden we have a massive change. We have the Hangman, we have a 10 of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, which is the new opening. The Hierophant, wow. There's going to be some kind of support, some kind of structure, some kind of order going to come to your place. It might also mean employment as well. With Ace of Wands might mean employment, but the Hangman is talking about changing your perspective, is about letting go. And that's sometimes the hardest thing to do. I know at first hand, Scorpio. I'm someone who can be very driven. And because the Hangman is talking about letting go, it's talking about the reversal, seeing things upside down, it's talking about suspension. Sometimes it's talking about the sacrifice and isolation that is coming from the 5 of Pentacles here. The Hangman is talking about the process. So it's talking about the process of ourselves us going through this kind of realization, and the hangman going to represent this realization. So that suspension, that sacrifice, whatever you're going to sacrifice, is going to be in order for you to gain that higher wisdom. Because the hangman is also talking about the crossroads and decision making and potential growth and change and transition and enlightenment. And it's talking about the trial, intuition, sometimes about the voluntary sacrifice. You need to achieve your goals and purposes. But also it's going to come on the back of acceptance and reflection. And what is going to happen whenever this is going to change, you're going to go through that change. You're going to go through that motions and notions over here. All of a sudden things are going to start moving. And I'm loving it because you have a 10 of cups over here. And 10 of cups in this particular case going to denote the fulfillment. They're going to represent, you know, you have a lot of human element here, because you have a 5 of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant representing those 2 5s representing the human element. But sometimes it's also it's going to represent the in the 10 of Cups they're representing this human element, because they're talking about human love, the friendship and family and the home and union. And you have a union also in terms of the Gebo. Gebo is talking about the gift and union. This is going to start shifting. And the 10 of Cups is denoting and is indicating this merger of different forces, both positive and negative. And they're talking about the old cycle coming to the end, to the completion, a new cycle about to begin. And guess what you have with the new cycle? Ace of Wands. Wow. And you know what the Ace of Wands is the breath of life, is this immense oomph power. it's representing the growth, the creation, ability, ambition. Look at this wand. It's sprouting. It's the new starting. It's the new beginning. Rebirth, healing coming your way. And once again, this is something to do with this human element. I'm not sure what this is precisely all about, but whatever is happening, the new force is going to come to your life. The new, you have to just open yourself to the new, but it's open yourself to the new. It's all about changing your perspective. It's changing those priorities. It's looking at the things from a different point of view. And it almost feels like Scorpio, you're going to force to do it. It's almost life going to give you that nudge. It's going to blessing in disguise. It's going to take you up and down. It's going to take you on a journey. Yet this is going to give you the possibility of the new growth, and it's going to introduce the new beginnings that are going to be all around new beginnings. And I'm really loving it. Because this is going to be new possibilities, and for some of you with that new possibilities, this might be indicating the new job, new career. It might be representing sometimes it's going to represent the news. What I'm hearing is going to news, so you might represent an email, letter, telephone call that you're waiting for. Your ability to realize your new plans. So whatever this is happening, this is a new beginning, and this is indication of finding a success and some kind of victory and overcoming difficulties, and that was coming. And with the Hierophant is representing everything to do with us humans. It's representing this human element. It's representing everything from big bodies, organizations, church groups to buildings. And what is happening here, this might be representing the job, but also this might be representing this offer coming through, might be representing also the advice, learning, and kind of strength coming sometimes from tradition. Might be representing also marriage, might be representing some kind of union. maybe representing school commitment, whatever that's going to be, Scorpio, that's going to give you the new direction. That's going to be the new direction for you here. Someone who's in position, who's going to be in position of authority, going to either offer you something, that might be job, that might be advice, but also it's going to, might be a teaching, but whatever it is, it's going to give a structure, new direction. It's almost what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing is you're going to be on a track again. Things going to go back on the track. And for some of you, it's going to be about building the bridges as well. Building the bridges, that's what I heard, building the bridges. I love it. So whatever is happening here, this is going to help you to establish yourself. Somehow this is going to represent some kind of form of establishing yourself and kind of going new way. So what I would say, because for some of you, you're going to be accepted to the larger organization. So once again, this feels like a job. This feels like a job, or if this is not the job, you're going to be accepted somewhere. There's going to be formal acceptance. Okay, and what they're asking you to focus on. So you have a Ten of Pentacles over here, and this is all about family, because once again, family, it's focusing on what you have, appreciate what you have, and because Ten of Pentacles is talking about distribution of wealth, it's talking about the security, it's talking about the responsibility, but also it's talking about the inheritance, it's talking about the family. So this is all about focusing on what you have, but also drawing the strength from some family support, both in terms of emotional and financial. And this is all about equal give and take, and that's what they are asking you to focus on. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles is representing our family business, it's representing the family fortune, it's representing the inheritance being passed on. So it's what they say, whatever you have, put it to the best of use. Basically, that's what they're saying. Sometimes Ten of Pentacles is talking about buying and selling property or acquisition, something that it's going to give you foundation for the future. Those things are going to start moving, they're going to start moving in the right direction. So focus on this, focus on it's something to do with the groups, it's something to do with the family, because you have the groups and family, you have almost 3 times here. You have it with the Ten of Cups, you have an inheritance, and what you have with Ten of Pentacles. However, there's one thing, because this additional commentary, and that comes with Gabo, because it's something about the groups, something about acceptance, but equally, whatever is going to happen here, Scorpio, there's one thing, and one thing comes very clear, with the Gabo especially, because Gabo speaks about partnership, speaks about union, and whatever union you're going to enter, this union have to consist of 2 independent parties, 2 healthy beings or healthy relationships, which every party has independence, is independent within that union. And that was the additional commentary to your reading here, Scorpio. It looks like March is going to be extremely challenging, but with the view of helping you to further grow, further develop, and actually it's almost like life is pushing you to say, Scorpio, you can do better. things that can be, you can expect more, but in order to do it, you have to change your lenses, your paradigm has to shift. And in order to shift that paradigm, the life might give you the little push, a little nudge. Still, quite often, Scorpio, the new beginnings, sometimes they have appearance of loss, but this is not a loss. This is talking about learning from your experience, and whatever is happening, if you're going to embrace it, those things going to come, they're going to be easier on you, and life going to start flowing, and new possibilities and opportunities, they're going to present themselves. So Scorpio, that is the overall reading and messages for you for March of 2019. Thank you for tuning, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you'd like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.